spawning in the top right position as our blue Protoss player from Fnatic. It is NightEnD. And spawning in the bottom left position as our yellow Zerg, it is from Karante Esports Club, VortiX. Another wonderful PvZ here on Daybreak. Thankfully quite different than the old PvZ of yore and Wings of Liberty. So, PvZ, we haven't really seen terribly much variety in all honesty, so far in today's matches. So I'm a little curious to see if we're going to get anything out of the ordinary. But I'll have to find out now. NightEnD sending his probe out to scout, of course. So this pylon positioning looks like NightEnD wants to go for the Forge expand, possibly of the Nexus first variety, of course. Very, very popular towards the end of Wings of Liberty. Heart of the Swarm, we've seen a lot more Gateway expands. And of course, to note, VortiX has the incredibly attractive Overlord skin. He's going to come in here and see nothing unusual. VortiX most likely going to go for that 15 supply spawning pool. So should be good. So the probe's now going to try to deny any kind of expansion, of course. Now that he sees the pool timing, he will likely just go for the Nexus first. He's completely free to do so. And that's exactly what it looks like. A lot of probes queued up, chrono boosting the crap out of that Nexus. And the drone's going to be sent down for VortiX to try to take this base. He actually sends 2 drones to make sure he gets it down. And of course, NightEnd's response to that will be through the pylon block. He's going to head over to the 3rd base as well. He's going to go for a Forge, though. Because of the pylon block, he's going to open with a Forge. Pretty interesting. Just kind of capping out his supply at 18 as fast as he can. So that is unusual. Oh, pylon, he's going to let it finish. So very interesting. He's actually going to block the other base, too. So he really wants to force VortiX to do something crazy. Now the Overlord is going to come in here and see that there's no Nexus. So he knows, okay, well, you kind of delayed your own expansion a little bit by doing so. These drones, of course, have been forced to poke away at these pylons for quite a while. Now the Nexus is on the way for NightEnD. He'll be able to get a photon cannon more than enough in time to deal with this. He's going to be a little bit greedy, though. He's going to get the gateway first. He not expecting the Zerglings to come towards him because they need to kill this pylon. So nice play by VortiX, which is why I kind of go for the 15 pool. 14 or 13 can help mitigate this issue, but now the Zerglings, of course, aren't going to be coming anytime soon to NightEnd's base, and he can just kind of freely do whatever it is that he so chooses. Now, this style of opener, towards the end of Wings of Liberty, became very, very popular for Protoss players to transition into Stargate play. So it's very likely that we'll see something of that variety in this game. But of course, not 100% called for. The Immortal push, strong in Wings of Liberty, also really strong in Heart of the Swarm as well. So there are a lot of options available for NightEnD on how he can push this game forward, as it were. So Cybernetic score is going to start up for NightEnD, and yeah, nothing really crazy. The Nexus is done. The gas is being mined. 2 probes away from saturation. This pylon at the 3rd actually hasn't been removed, which is very interesting. It lets NightEnD know that VortiX is doing something off of 2 bases, and now we see that gas being taken. So that it does seem to be the case. He already has the minerals mined on these drones. He's completely prepared to immediately deposit them and go straight back towards mining. So good play here from VortiX. Just trying to be on top of everything, really. And now his drones are actually like synchronized mining. It's almost beautiful. Well, I guess the mineral distances messed that up, but he's actually getting a sentry. He's chrono boosting a sentry out, sending a zealot to attack. I think the sentry is mostly because of the positioning of that pylon, since he knew that there was no really fast 3rd, kind of anticipating the possible gas play on 2 bases. Now he's at 150 gas. He hasn't done anything with it yet. So there we go. Now he's going to see the Lair Star, and there's the Stargate for NightEnD. So this is going to be pretty interesting. He's of course going to have the aggressive option to go for something like the Oracle, try to be a bit greedy, or he can go for the standard 3 to 4 Phoenix and try to pick off Overlords, possibly Queens and drones, and oh my. But Zergling coming in here, Sentry barely lets it get away. 1 hit point, blasted, regenerating health, and pneumaticized Carapace coming in for VortiX. that Overlord speed. He doesn't actually need the lair to be complete to research it anymore. One of the Heart of the Swarm changes. He could actually use this to poop creep all over the bases and deny expansions, as well as get vision. So that's a pretty good smart play. Don't disagree with it at all. And well, it's going to be Phoenix play out of NightEnD. Zealot runs in. He's actually not going to use it to fight. He's going to use it to scout. So he sees that Roach Warren. He runs in towards the main. He sees there's a lair. Quite a bit of gas being taken. So he knows that it's not going to be something like super fast Mutalisks. Because that Roach Warren is there, typically speaking, you'll have double evolution chamber for Mutalisks. With Zergling speed. Picks off an Overlord, though. So now VortiX knows what NightEnD is up to. He's only not just getting his third base, and NightEnD could almost just take his third base. These Zerglings being moved away a little bit. But Ventral Sacks are coming in as well, which is a very interesting choice this early in the game to get the Overlord drops. The Overlord speed, though, really going to help in dealing with these Phoenix. He's still going to lose an Overlord. Ooh, nice. He transfuses it to keep it alive. So really good play from VortiX, not trying to do his best to not lose any resources at all to the harass. He's okay, well, your third base is crazy late. I'm going to get my robotics facility transition lined up. And here we have what can often be the downfall of many a Stargate player, the really fast switch into Hydralisks. NightEnd's going to be on point in holding a transitionary aggression from VortiX if he wants to be able to stay alive in this scenario. So Phoenix moving on over. Beginning to mine all of this gas. Robotics Bay is coming in, and this is the most important building. Being able to get the Colossi out to deal with the Hydralisks. We have the Ventral Sacks about to complete. The Overlords have the speed upgrade. The Hydralisks could get loaded up for a drop very quickly. The Hydralisks are actually in position to stop the Phoenix from coming in on the east side. They are here. He's going to move up. Manages to barely clip the shields off of one of them, but he's not going to be able to finish it off. Overlord drop is complete, though, so now we could see VortiX go for a crazy bit of harass. He doesn't actually have any roaches. Does he have roach speed? A better question. Yes, so he can be really aggressive if he wants. This Zergling should be able to block this third base from going up for NightEnD. If he can pull NightEnd's army down towards the third and then go in for the big roach Hydra drop into the main base, that could actually do quite a bit of damage. He's going to move in now this third base under a little bit of assault. There are quite a few Phoenix, actually. There's 6 of them, so that's a lot of anti-air capabilities, but the Overlords, I think, it could still work if he drops the Hydras in the base. He's invested so much resources into the Phoenix, it's not even funny. 6 of these bad boys are very expensive. Third base on the way for NightEnD, not doing anything terribly ridiculous. We have Hydralisk speed, them muscular augments, so that the Hydras can lift, bro. Almost complete, so they'll move a lot faster off of creep, and now the Overlords are being brought. This could be it. The Hydras, of course, great with that anti-air, can actually protect the Overlords all the way up until the final part of their pathway. And, well, NightEnd's going to move in here. The Hydras managed to pick off one of the Phoenix. Oh, gets a second one. And now it looks like this Doom drop could be disastrous. There is a single Colossus, but range is, it's not done just yet, but it'll be done very soon. But now the drop's coming into the main base, and this is the scary part of the game. He's going to immediately pull away. He's going to use his Mothership Core's recall ability to head straight home. He can actually almost photon overcharge, and at this point, with the force field positioning, he's just going to try to kill as many probes as he can. He can always lift up and get out of here. He does not have the Overlord boost, requires eating a lot of Taco Bell, but now he's moving in, trying to take out as many probes as he can. He's stepping up. The force field does a really great job of isolating these units with the Colossus range. He's going to need to get into the Overlords and get out of here. He's overextending quite a bit by staying here any longer, pushing in, but he's actually going to go towards the third base at the same time. The Roach is beginning to get a ton of probe kills. There's a couple of Stalkers here to defend this, but he's going to get so many probe kills, it's actually going to completely justify the cost of this. And now the Phoenix are going to try to lift this up and just deal any possible way they can to mitigate the amount of damage that is being caused by this, and he still has all of these Overlords. He's going to get away with them. A ton of probes killed by VortiX with this Roach Push. Now taking a commanding supply lead. The Phoenix are trying to lift these units up, but will not be able to do it in any fashion that's actually going to help him be able to take this game. And the Roaches are going to say, hey, you want to donate some Stalkers, man? I will gladly take them. I am super hungry. No, seriously, I really am. And yeah, now he doesn't mind the gas. And let's take a look at some numbers here. We have 45 probes available. 24 probes were killed by VortiX. Now, this is the part where he needs to drone up his third base and not die to a counterattack. So He's moving in now. He's getting the drones, as I stated. So this is the most important thing, these 14 drones. So he can just take a ridiculous lead now. After all that damage that he did, he's completely safe. He's got 61 drones now, moving up to 65. So his economy is looking stellar. Taking a 4th base at the same time, getting the Roach attack, getting the Hydralisk Carapace, and now getting a Spire for Corruptor usage, or even possibly just a switch into Mutalisks if he really wanted to. So should be pretty interesting. Queen's going to go spread a bunch of creep around all over that map. And the 3rd base has been stabilized for NightEnD, but getting saturation there proving to be a bit of a pain. Of course, lacking saturation in the main base, as well as a couple probes short in the natural. He's been really, really hit hard by these rough economic times. And with this 4th base going up for VortiX, it looks like he's about to become the 1% here with this Roach Hydra build, especially with these fugly Overlords. So now the Hydra's going to move up, try to take a couple of shots. Will not be able to get anything. Overlord stepping back. The Phoenix are just trying to be more mobile than the Overlords and just picking off literally anything he can get his dirty paws on. And that's what's most important. The Observer's trying to keep an eye out for this creep spread. Of course, he doesn't want him to spread it everywhere, but he's got it spread in a nice arc if he can just move all these tumors forward. So actually see a really sick snake-like animation coming in. He's just spreading all of his creeps systematically. It's beautiful. Really is. But Overlord's putting some showers on for these drones so they can stay nice and clean. And well, there's a bunch of Corruptors coming out for VortiX. He's getting ready to get enough units to just completely smash these Colossi down. And it's going to basically mitigate the whole thing about force fields being able to pinch away the rest of the units. So, of course, he can use the Mothership's mass recall ability to get away, but that is not going to be easy to do. So Phoenix just kind of patrolling for any possible future drops. Not bad at all. And with his Observer, he can try to pick away at Vortix's creep spread. Of course, this just means Vortix can creep spread in other directions. But stopping the creep is very, very important. It's super useful in terms of the speed boost that it gives Hydralisks. And now it looks like Vortix almost looking to force a fight. He has a large number of Corruptors available to him to try to just smash the Colossi down. He could always use that corruption ability. Covers the enemy unit in Zerg slime. It's undescribed slime. That's what it is. You have no idea what kind of slime it is, and he's ready to spread that all over these Colossi as he moves and pushes in. Now there is a Void Ray on the field. He's trying to get a couple more of these. That prismatic alignment ability for the Void Ray is actually really, really strong when it comes to fighting against Corruptors. So the Corruptors will need to target fire down these Colossi and let the Hydralisks just do their dirty work. And it looks like he might be getting ready to move in here now. Guardian Shield does get popped. Activates Photon Overcharge. This is going to be it. He moves in. Corruption activating on all of these Colossi. He's trying to target fire them down. The Void Rays, though, are beginning to do their dirty work. Prismatic alignment enabled. He's doing a lot of damage, but not before all the Colossi die. And now the rest of these units can go to work on the Protoss army, and VortiX is beginning to pick NightEnD apart. He's going to lose most of what he has here, but he's going to immediately make 20 more Hydralisks, additional Roaches, getting up a bunch more upgrades, and NightEnd's knocked down to 2 bases. So great play by VortiX. And the thing is, he has enough economy to prevent himself from losing to any kind of counterattack. So NightEnD is stepping up. He's looking around. He's trying to find somewhere we can get some wiggle room. Picking off a couple creep tumors. He's using his Observer as wisely as he can. But the real question is he going to actually have enough to stop this? Doesn't look like it. VortiX just has so much stuff, and now he's going to build a great wall of Spine Crawlers. So things are looking very, very bleak for our Protoss player here. Getting hit by a couple of shots in the back. It has to blink away. He's like, oh, you're trying to double expand? Well, nope. Chuck Hydra. And he's going to move straight over towards that 3rd. And the thing is, Stalkers, you sort of need them to kill Corruptors, but the problem is Stalkers are really bad versus every other Zerg unit. So with this Roach Hydra Ball, VortiX is just going to push in again. These 5 Corruptors should actually be enough to kill a single Colossus. The 2 Void Rays might help if he focuses them down, but then the Hydras get too much DPS in. But here we go. He's moving in. A couple Force Fields do go down to keep these units at bay. This Colossus looks like it might barely fall. It does die. And this could spell disaster for NightEnD. The force fields are beginning to wear off. VortiX can push in and kill this base again. There is a Photon Overcharge available, but the Motion Core actually died as well. So this looks super, super bleak. There's another Colossus out, so NightEnd's going to hold for now, it seems. He wants to pick off these Void Rays. He's just going to try to snipe the Colossus, which is a really, really greedy play. But by forcing the Colossus back, he's able to get more of these Stalkers, and now he's going to move up. He's going to get the Colossus, it looks like, barely toppling that incredibly tall unit down, and now NightEnd sub 100 supply of VortiX at 166. He is looking fantastic, especially in that new petticoat, and well, gets a free Roach donation, but that's not going to get him out of this financial crisis. Roaches are stepping forward now. He's going to try to just catch these Stalkers. NightEnd will need to blink away if he wants to have any hope of keeping these units alive. Moving forward, all that acid just kind of goes literally into middle of nowhere when the Stalker blinks away. So always interesting to see, but a bunch of Corruptors coming out now for VortiX. The Spire, of course, has been prepared. He's getting additional Corruptors out, getting that +3 attacks for the range units, getting that +3 Carapace. And these Hydras are going to become a force to be reckoned with once Vipers enter the fray. Very strong unit the Viper is, and it can basically completely nullify everything that these Stalkers do. Of course, being able to use the abductability on the Colossi, being able to use the abductability on the probes, being able to use the abductability on literally everything, including the Nexus. No, not the Nexus, but any of the units. So this should be interesting, but it looks like VortiX may just try to end it here. He's got a large army, and NightEnd's force, he keeps regrouping it, but it just gets a little bit weaker every time the engagement happens. So this base in the bottom center, VortiX can very easily deny. It looks like he might push into the third again, which would be a bit of a folly if he loses his army here, and NightEnd gets up to the 4 bases. He could be in a great spot. Now, the Mothership Core did just finish, but he looks like he might just try to snipe this Nexus and then just get out of here, hightail it out of town, and that's exactly what he's going to do. That Nexus is dead, but no, he might actually try to push in a little bit greedy. He's actually triggered the, he's procced that prismatic alignment on one of these Void Rays, so that's definitely going to hurt him in terms of being able to have that available for later. Now the Roaches are going to move, and there is a Colossus here to throw in its DPS. The Corruptors will be able to kill it. No, they're focusing down the Void Ray instead, and it looks like NightEnd might be able to shove VortiX back for now. A lot of Hydralisks dying. You can see their spines all over the ground. That bottom center base is complete. If he can win this fight, he will have that base, at least for the time being, but it looks like VortiX is going to continue to push in. There's simply too many Stalkers here, though, for these Hydralisks to beat in a straight-up battle, even with an upgrade advantage. And NightEnd's going to push him back. He's going to say, hey, man, get off my lawn, man. And there's just so many Stalkers here. It's actually kind of ridiculous. We have 8 Infestors coming out for VortiX. A very interesting unit composition choice. He basically wants to use the Infestors to shut down all of the blinking Stalkers. Oh, gets a fungal. Really important. You know, they don't deal bonus damage versus armor anymore, the fungal growths, but they do prevent the Stalkers from blinking away, which is all that matters. It's what's giving VortiX the most trouble. It's, you know, not being able to get his units actually close enough to the Stalkers to kill them. And there's the GG, well played. NightEnd, you know, he's like, I can't do this. He's at 72 supply. GG! And VortiX takes game number 5, I believe we're on right now. So yeah, great play from VortiX. I have to say that was tight. The harass didn't do a terrible amount of damage, but that Doom Drop just did so much. Being able to pick off so many of those units, and it wasn't even the Doom Drop that like won the game. It was the Doom Drop making him pull his whole army into the back of his main base's mineral line, because at that point, then all those Roaches ran in towards the third and killed literally every single probe and like 20 Stalkers. So great play to VortiX. We'll get into game number 6 as soon as we can, guys. Don't go anywhere. I'm Nathanius.